Episode 738. According to their agreement, only Samsara Guild or the Jia Dynasty Guild had the right to kill the swamp hunter Leap at this point. Sure, some people are playing dirty, but if they jump in and start scrambling for the boss right now, they're no different from the cheaters themselves. There were forum posts as proof, and plenty of people had seen them lose fair and square. Going after the boss now just didn't sit right. Even they didn't dare act rashly in that situation. Put yourself in their shoes. How could Blue Creek Pavilion be so brainless? Everyone was muttering to themselves, but actually speaking up? That was another matter entirely. They'd already lost their shot at the boss, and there was nothing in it for them anyway. Might as well sit back and enjoy the show. Why rush to say anything nice for Bluebrook Guild? Even if everyone does eventually settle on a path of harmonious competition, that secret hope in your heart that the other guy's company goes under, that never stops. At the end of the day, everyone knew deep down that the path of harmonious competition was far too idealistic. This hastily formed alliance was nothing more than a reaction to the recent tense atmosphere and a genuine weariness toward a powerhouse like Lord Grimm, as well as Heavenly Swords, the new league sensation that had everyone's attention. They're acting under pressure. If we're talking about sincerity, everyone knows, deep down, their sincerity is very limited.
Kill!
The first to give orders was the 3 realms and 6 paths. They had the most to lose, and the sharpest sense of being played for fools. By now, they were in full scorched earth mode. Even if they couldn't take the boss themselves, they were determined to make Blue Creek Pavilion pay dearly. The 3 realms and 6 paths had a certain hot-blooded, unyielding spirit to them. They weren't the type to just calculate every move. And that kind of spirit, when it comes to battle, especially a battle like this, coalesces into a truly formidable morale. It's all for the sake of that one breath. The players of Samsara Guild were the first to be hit by Du Ying's surprise attack, taking some losses while caught off guard, but they were also the first to adjust and stabilize the situation. Those who came to kill the wild boss were naturally the guild's elite raid teams. This kind of situation wasn't going to trip them up. Though they hadn't fully cleared out the solo victory players yet, the guild leader's message had freed up enough hands to start pushing toward Bluebrook Pavilion.
Brothers, charge!
Kill these despicable bastards from Bluebrook Guild.
The Samsara Guild leader on this side let out a shout and charged in first. Since the gloves were off, the words were bound to get ugly. Meanwhile, behind the posted oath, a reply from Samsara appeared, accusing Blue Creek Pavilion of going back on their word and breaking their promise. Samsara had been toyed with by Blue Creek Pavilion, and they would not take it lying down. So what else is there? Fight! Your Blue Creek Pavilion may have 3 strong guilds, but Samsara isn't afraid either. Today we're settling this once and for all. A guild leader's declaration was no small matter. The club guild's profit-first approach might have let them dominate every region, but they'd never been this aggressive before. And challenging a guild stronger than your own like this? In the playbook of club guild management, that's a very unwise move. Samsara's reply was picked apart and reposted in a new thread, and this time, supporters flocked in droves. Naturally, Samsara's own fans needed no mention, but even the neutrals had firmly taken the Samsara Guild's side. Even Blue Rain's own fans, lacking the full truth, couldn't find a way to defend their guild based on what the onlookers were saying. In the Poison Fang Swamp, players from Samsara Guild lunged at the Bluebrook Guild members. Blue Creek Pavilion was still busy proving they hadn't pulled the boss, never realizing the other side already thought they were trying to make a run with it. Samsara suddenly charged in, catching Blue Creek Pavilion completely off guard. As for Samsara, they played it smart. They went after Blue Creek Pavilion and left the boss completely alone. The Swamp Hunter Reap's aggro was locked onto the Blue Creek Pavilion Guild's team, making it look like an unwitting accomplice for Samsara.
Damn it. What do you think you're doing?
The Blue Creek Pavilion player leading the squad tried to explain, but before he could get a word out, the enemy charged in and cut him down on the spot, instantly hacking him to pieces. The players of the Samsara Guild were seething with resentment. The moment they charged in, they went straight into a berserk state. Without a commander, the Blue Creek Pavilion side was in complete disarray. They fought back in small squads, and by now the other guilds had mostly stabilized the situation. But because they'd lost the arena match earlier, the guild leaders had all ordered their members not to interfere with the boss fight. But there was one guild that had no such qualms. Which one? The Jia Dynasty Guild. They had already stabilized against the Poison Flies group attack, but Samsara couldn't wait and charged in. Seeing Blue Brook Guild already in shambles, he allowed himself a faint smile.
Brothers of Samsara, our Jia dynasty has a stake in this boss too.
The leader of the Jia Dynasty Guild thought their ambush was a masterstroke.
Hell yeah! Bring it on!
Even if both your guilds come at us together, Samsara isn't afraid.
The players of Samsara were clearly set on meeting force with force. The Jia Dynasty side was taken aback. They thought, this mantis is fierce. It finishes off the cicada and then decides to take down the oriole too. The Jia Dynasty players were fully expecting to surprise Samsara, but Samsara had an unexpected surprise in store for them instead. There was no dialogue at all. The moment Samsara's players saw the Jia Dynasty players stepping up to provoke them, they went absolutely berserk. They lunged forward and attacked without a word.
What the hell? Have you all lost your minds?
The Jaewang Guild, hoping to surprise everyone, ended up surprising themselves. They were fully expecting a drawn-out argument, but Samsara had just fought a chaotic battle with Blue Brook Guild, inflicting heavy losses on the enemy, but at a steep cost to themselves. Once we made our stance clear, even if they didn't back down, they'd have to negotiate politely. We should have had the upper hand. But Samsara was being completely irrational. Despite being clearly outmatched, they were the ones shouting for blood, with no intention of negotiating at all. Is this guy suffering from persecution complex? The Jia Dynasty certainly didn't have good intentions, but it was hard to imagine they'd go so far as to burn bridges with Samsara. They really hadn't prepared for Samsara's approach at all. Samsara's ferocious assault caught them completely off guard. Like the Blue Creek Pavilion before them, the Jia Dynasty was stunned into silence. By the time they realized what was happening, several of their people had already fallen.